What is the best bidding strategy in Google Ads in 2023? I get asked this question nearly every day. I get YouTube comments, I get emails. People ask me what bidding strategy in Google Ads should I actually be running for my account to achieve the best results. Now, this is a hotly debated topic. There's lots of people who swear manual CPC is the way to go, enhanced CPC, maximize conversions. There's so many different bidding strategies, and Google has done its job at actually trying to reduce the amount of bidding strategies, I think, to not confuse people as much, but there's still quite a few out there. And in today's video, I'm going to go over what bidding strategies are, the different types of them, the two main types for the most part, and what bidding strategy is best in 2023, since things have really changed in Google Ads over the past few years. Now, to start off, what is a bid strategy inside Google Ads? And if you didn't know, Google Ads runs on an auction house, and essentially every bid is counted at a certain cost depending on how expensive the keyword is, depending on how much competition. There's a lot of factors. If you haven't seen my video on how Google Ads works, I highly recommend checking that out just to catch you up to date with how Google Ads works. But if you have, that's essentially how Google Ads works. It's an auction house. And a bid strategy defined by Google is an automated strategy that automatically sets bids for your ads based on the ad's likelihood to result in a click or conversion. Now, you may be asking yourself, how many different types of bidding strategies are there? And there is about 7 of them. Google changes this rather frequently, so if it's not 7, it's probably around there. But we have target cost per action, we have target ROIS, which are essentially the same conversion action. You're just going for return on ad spend versus conversion action, so cost per lead. Very, very similar. They work the exact same. They just work off how much of a return on ad spend you want compared to how much you want to pay per lead. Essentially the same thing. Then we have maximize conversions, which is just the overall bidding strategy of the actual target CPA or target ROIS. It just goes for as many conversions as possible in the account. I don't absolutely love maximize conversions because I think it needs to be limited. Google is absolutely amazing, but you have to put constraints on it. Just like with any AI, it is very good, but you have to guide it. You can't just let it go free, or otherwise it makes a lot of mistakes. I like target CPA over maximize conversions. That being said, I'm sure there are circumstances where maximize conversions just works better because you want as many conversions as possible. You don't care on limiting it. The next one is enhanced cost per click. This is essentially the same thing as manual CPC. However, Google takes a little control over the actual bidding here. So in manual CPC, you can adjust every single bid on what you want to pay. So if you want to pay $5 a click, you absolutely can. With enhanced CPC, however, Google will go up and down a percentage. I believe it's 15%, might be a little different, but Google controls the little bits of bid adjustment there, and it might go up 15-20% depending on if it thinks it can get another lead. Now, manual CPC, a little history lesson here, used to be the predominant and best way by far in Google Ads to get leads into your business and make some sales. However, over the years, this has changed because Google's AI has gotten a lot better. It transitioned from manual CPC, which was setting your own bid limits, because the only real indicator of whether or not something was working was how much you were paying per click. There were no other real factors to determine whether or not the person on the other side of the actual computer screen was going to be relevant to you. Then it went to enhanced CPC, which was giving Google's AI a little bit of wiggle room to adjust things. If Google's AI saw that someone was really, really into your product or service, it would say, you know what, I'll bid 5-10% more and I'm going to get that click because there's a pretty good chance I'm going to get them into a lead. Now, somewhere around the 2015s, and it could be even a little later, Google's AI got really, really good. And what I mean by this was, it essentially just got rid of manual CPC and enhanced CPC because it was so good at making decisions and actually figuring out what keywords at what specific times to what specific audiences would convert. And this is why you see super high conversion rates now compared to years past. And Google's AI is just absolutely amazing at using all these buying signals. And I'm going to get into that in a second when it comes to buying signals and explaining a little bit more about the actual automated bidding strategies. The final bidding strategy we have is maximize clicks, and this uses Google's AI to get as many clicks into the account as possible. Now, you would think, why in the world would I want clicks? I want conversions. And there's a very important thing I'm going to let you know in a second, but just keep in mind that's what maximize clicks does. It gets you as many clicks as possible. Now, I essentially break down bidding strategies into two types. One that uses Google's AI and one that doesn't. Manual CPC, enhanced CPC really don't use Google's AI as much as maximize conversions does. And the only other one I would kind of include in this is maximize clicks. But maximize clicks is very important for one reason. And it's because it can get you a lot of data, and that's going to be very relevant. If you are using manual CPC, really the only thing you can adjust here is the actual bid limit. So if you want to pay $5 per click, you can set a bid limit to that, and you will not pay $1 more. Now, with a strategy that is more automated, like maximize conversions, Google is actually going to set how much you could bid per the actual keyword. Now, this may seem counterintuitive. Why would you want to bid more than a certain amount? And the reason for this is Google's AI is so good at guessing who is actually a lead and who isn't a lead based on a whole bunch of different buying signals like search history, demographics, audience settings, day of the week. It's absolutely extraordinary. And nowadays, the automated bidding strategies convert so much better than the previous manual bidding strategies. Could you make the case that you could use it in some scenarios? I guess, but for the most part, 99% of cases, you should be using an automated bidding strategy. But there is one caveat to that, which is Google's AI works amazing if it has enough relevant data. And herein lies the problem. If it doesn't have enough relevant data, so knowing what works and what doesn't work, and that's generally dependent on the actual search terms and what you're going after inside your account, if it doesn't have enough of that, it's going to make bad decisions, and it is normally slow to optimize. Now, Google actually didn't allow you to use maximize conversions or an automated bidding strategy right off the bat for a long time, and now it has recently changed that. I don't think that's a great idea because it's just still not that great at starting an account right off the bat. I think it's very slow, and I think there's better routes around this. Now, that being said, once it does have enough relevant data, it is absolutely amazing. So herein lies the problem. How do we get enough relevant data, so all the search term histories of what converts and what doesn't convert, and then how do we utilize Google's AI to actually double down on all of that and get the best results? And it's a two-part strategy. And the first part of this strategy is to use a bidding strategy called maximize clicks. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why do I care about clicks? I want conversions. I want leads into my business. I don't care about clicks. Absolutely, I completely agree with you. But what we need right now is data. And the best way to get data very quickly is to set your account to maximize clicks. That way we get as much relevant data into your Google Ads account as possible, as quickly as possible. And then we're going to switch over to an automated bid strategy like target CPA or maximize conversions. That way we can utilize Google's AI. Now, normally we recommend waiting for at least 30 conversions inside the account from maximize clicks, and then you switch it over to target CPA. You set some type of limit so Google doesn't go crazy with it. And that's generally how it works. It's a very simple strategy, but works very, very well because all of the relevant data Google needs to really quickly optimize, you get it. Maximize clicks, by the way, not going to be your best month. The first month, first 30 conversions, definitely not going to be your best results. But in month 2, 3, 4, you're going to see significantly better results with target CPA compared to any other strategy in Google Ads. Now, is this perfect for every single account? Absolutely not. Every account is unique. So like I always say, follow the data and actually look at the results you're getting. Maybe target ORS, which is essentially the same strategy as target CPA. It's just essentially worded differently and the actual metrics are a little different, but it all does the exact same thing. That's a little different, but for the most part, same strategy. But if that works a little bit better, maybe use target ORS. Follow the data like I always say. But your best bet in 2023 is to use some sort of automated bidding strategy. I know back in 2005 when everyone was using manual CPC, that was really the way to go. And it was really, really good for those years from 2000 to 2010-ish. That was the absolute best way to do things. However, times have changed. Manual CPC just isn't as good as automated bidding strategies because it doesn't have those buying signals. It doesn't have access to all those search terms reports. And I know people are like, but I love manual CPC. I watch tutorials with manual CPC and they still use this. Absolutely, people still use it. It doesn't mean it's the correct way and the best way to get you the best results. What we find for our clients, this is the best way. Use maximize clicks, switch it over to target CPA after you have 30 conversions or so in the account. I've seen people say all the way up to 90 conversions. I think that's a little too much, and it's going to be like month 2, 3, 4 before you actually convert over to target CPA. If you wait that long, I would much rather see results quicker. I'd much rather, take a little bit of a risk cutting off too quickly than waiting 3-4 months. Most clients aren't going to stay with you that long, especially if your results aren't that good. That being said, I've seen even Google suggest all the way down to 15 conversions. I think that's too early to actually cut it off from maximize clicks and getting all that data. So I would really recommend going with 30. I think it's a nice little balance there. And I think you'll see the best results there for 99.9% of accounts. And even people who don't agree with me on the actual target CPA, they still agree with me. And this is almost universal. You look at any other video out there, almost universally, they all agree with one thing: get as much data into the account as quickly as possible. That way you can make good decisions. Right now, Google's AI is the best resource to make the best decisions. However, it just needs that data. That's why we go with maximize clicks, and then we switch it over to target CPA. Now, I do have one big favor to ask from you guys, and that is to leave a like at the end of this video. I think this knowledge is pretty useful for 99.9% of accounts. So if you can hit that thumbs up button, more people can see it, and more people can get better results. So I thank you in advance if you do choose to hit that like button. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding Google Ads, leave a comment down below. Every day now I'm getting a lot of comments, so if it takes me a day or two to get back to you, that's why there's just so many comments, so it's difficult to keep up with, but I try and do my best. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day, take care, and I wish you all well.